Now, in the second part of Season 1, we see the Golden Wall Merchant Manor, where Tayson looks at his hand and thinks, "My body is in terrible condition. I used half of the energy I had accumulated. This is not the time when I used to be the heavenly demon. This body can easily break even from a small shock. I know I was careless, but how can I, the heavenly demon, let a man go who called my face girl-like?" Then Tayson leaves his room and asks Chen, "By the way, what is the bodyguard of Yun Harin doing here?" Then we see Yusin has arrived, and she also sees Tayson. She says, "Young master, you have arrived." Then she stands and greets him. Tayson says, "You didn't come here to drink tea, so tell me, what's the matter?" And Chen blushes, looking at Sayan. Then Sayan says, "That woman who just came, did you bring her from the quotation house?" Hearing this, Tayson thinks she came by herself, but I don't want to bother explaining that. So Tayson says, "If I did." Hearing this, Sayan stares intensely at Tayson. Then she asks, "Did you just return from the quotation house?" Tayson says, "Yes." Then he thinks, what problem does she have? Then Sayan lowers her head and says, "Your engagement with the young miss will be broken." Tayson says, "Oh, is that so?" Sayan says, "Your fiancé received a marriage proposal, and since this proposal came from the Zhongli clan of the Murim Alliance, the master of the Yon Manor decided to break the engagement because of me. The decision is not final because our young miss is against breaking it." Hearing this, Tayson thinks, in this situation, it must be difficult for her to oppose breaking the engagement. Then Tayson says, "I doubt you came here only to tell me this. Did the Yon Manor send you because they think the Zhongli clan might harm me?" Sayan says, "Yes, young miss sent me to protect you. You don't know." But the Zhongli clan, Tayson cuts her off and says, "They are just filthy ba." Sayan says, "You shouldn't speak about the Zhongli clan openly like that." Hearing this, Tayson smiles and thinks, in the battle against the heavenly demon, they were the clan who abandoned the battlefield and ran away. To think that the survivors are still troubling people. Then Tayson stands up and says, "In any case, you will protect me, right?" The more I think about it, the more interesting it seems. Then we are shown the night scene where they are going to the quotation house. Tayson is thinking, "Finally, I have found someone who is a challenge for me. Tonight I will form my second core." Behind him, Sayan keeps staring at him intensely, which Tayson also notices. He turns back and says, "Don't follow me if you don't want to." Sayan says, "Whether I want to or not, this is my young miss's order, so I must do it." Tayson says, "Fine, do as you wish." Then Tayson suddenly stops. John asks, "What happened, young master?" Tayson says, "How many people are there?" Chon doesn't understand for a moment, but then realizes someone is following them. John says, "There are 3 people." Tayson says, "No, not 3, 4. The assassins also hear this, and all 4 appear. They say, "Looks like our ambush has failed." Then the 4th assassin says from behind, "So, I'll tell you straight, you 3, come with me. I need you." Tayson says, "Chon, I want you to guess how skilled they are." Chon says, "Okay, young master." He observes closely and looks at the 4th assassin. He thinks, from his energy and the smell of blood coming from him, it's clear. He is not an ordinary assassin from the Orthodox faction, but I am 3 levels higher than him. Tayson says, "Then why are you standing here? Go and verify your guess. Prove that you are right." Then Qian lifts one foot and disappears like blinking speed, instantly appearing near the assassins. The assassins think, "What is this? Why can't we move our bodies?" Qian quickly moves between them and goes toward the 4th assassin. The assassin says, Do you want to stop me alone? You stupid bastard. You have good energy, but stop pretending to be at the top and quietly come with me. Then the assassin attacks Qian. Qian barely dodges. He attacks again immediately, but Qian deflects the strike with his sword, though the force pushes him back. Then Qian attacks the assassin, and when the assassin tries to block, he is shocked and thinks, I underestimated him. I thought he was just a merchant's bodyguard, but he is far more skilled. Then the assassin jumps to deliver a powerful strike. Cyan says, shouldn't we help him? Tae-san says, no, there is no need. He will finish him in one strike. But suddenly, a loud scream is heard. When Sayan looks forward, she sees that Chon has cut off the assassin's hand. Seeing this, Sayan is shocked and thinks, this is impossible. He clashed swords only 5 times and defeated him. Is he really this skilled? Then Tae-san says, what? Just one hand of his is enough? He is being very gentle. And there, Sayan is thinking, Warrior Qian is strong. But earlier, he was never at this level. Did young Master Tyson give him some kind of elixir? Then Tyson says, don't just stand there. Handle the rest of the people. I have to ask them some questions, so block their pressure points and tie them to the side of the road. Then Sayan also jumps from her place and very quickly reaches the assassins and blocks their pressure points. Then she looks around and starts thinking, where did the last assassin go? Suddenly, Chan's voice comes from behind, saying, young Master Tyson, move away from there. Hearing this, when Sayan looks at Tyson, a sword is right in front of his neck. Seeing this, Sayan becomes very nervous. It is shown that the last assassin had placed his sword right at Tyson's neck and was about to attack him. But Tyson, just like before, doth not move from his place at all. But this time Chan arrives and slams that assassin onto the ground. Seeing this, Tyson starts thinking, what is he doing here? Then he looks to the side and thinks, instead of chasing the assassin, he came here to save me. Then Chan says, young master, are you okay? Then Tae-san looks at Chan and thinks, he is very careless. Then Chan apologizes, saying, forgive me for not being able to catch the assassin. Hearing this, Tyson starts smiling and thinks, if I were the heavenly demon, this mistake was not forgivable. But for some reason, I am not getting angry. Then Tyson says, forget it. Tie up the remaining assassins with rope and gather them in one place. Then it is shown that the 3 assassins are tied with rope. Then Tyson says, what should we do with them? Chan replies, I think killing them is the better choice. Then one assassin says, let me go. Whatever questions you ask, I will answer all of them. Hearing this, everything becomes silent for a moment. Then Tyson says, when no one is saying anything, I will kill all of you. The 3 assassins immediately say, no, we can talk. Then one assassin says, we are from the Crimson Dragon sect, and the vice leader there ordered us to do this. And he also starts telling everything that happened today, hearing which the other 2 assassins become shocked. In their minds, they are telling him to stop talking. Tyson turns away and says while walking, take them with us. As long as they talk, they will stay alive. Hearing this, Sayan thinks, don't tell me he will still go to the quotation house. Then it is shown that they arrive at the Fallen Flower House. Both of them stand outside Tyson's room while Tyson is inside doing his work. But due to the girl's screaming sounds, they misunderstand and start feeling embarrassed. When Sayan looks at Chayan, Chayan turns his face away. Saiyan asks, "Warrior Chayan, is this okay? Don't you need to go inside?" Chayan replies, "It's all fine. We just have to wait until morning." Seeing him, Saiyan thinks, why is his expression like this? Don't tell me he has always been like this. And the entire night, the boy's screaming echoes through the quotation house, and even the assassins hear it. Then it is shown that morning arrives. Tyson finishes his task and comes out of the room, where Cheon, Sion, and the three assassins are waiting. Saiyan is thinking of him like a wild animal, while the assassins see him as a real man. Tessin says, "Is he still alive?" I said, "As long as they keep talking, keep them alive." Cheon says, "He was talking until now." Tyson asks, "Is that so? Then give me the summary." Cheon explains, "They were ordered to bring you to the Crimson Dragon sect, and the identity of the assassin who escaped is known only to the leader of the Crimson Dragon sect." Hearing this, Tyson thinks, yes, he was no ordinary unorthodox martial artist. If he were a normal bodyguard, he wouldn't have been able to handle him. Fortunately, Cheon is much stronger. Maybe the Zhongli clan is helping the Crimson Dragon sect leader. Then Tyson says, "First we will go to the East Estate of Golden Wall Merchant. Take them along." A scene shifts to Golden Wall Merchant's East Estate, where they arrive. Tessin opens the door and the three assassins are kneeling. Tyson says, "I will first cast a restriction on them, and from today I will teach you both some useful martial arts. Pay attention and learn properly." Hearing this, both of them think, is he going to teach us martial arts? Tyson says, "This is a simple restriction technique. I will start by teaching you this." Then he explains how to do it. Listening to him, the assassins become very scared. They think, what is this? I have never seen a technique like this. But I understood it immediately. Then Tyson says, "Watch carefully. If thou disobey my orders, this will happen to thee." He places 2 fingers near the assassin's neck and uses the restriction technique. The assassin starts screaming loudly in pain. His condition becomes extremely miserable. Tyson says, "You can use different restriction techniques on the other 2. Practice with them." Chayan says, "Yes, young master." Seeing this, Saiyan thinks, does young master Tyson know such strange techniques? And warrior Chayan follows everything he says. Tessin says, "Start. This time their eggs should break." From their expressions, anyone can understand what level of pain they must be feeling. Then the scene shifts to Josh Pavilion, where 2 people are talking. This man's name is Biopeng. He is the master of Josh Pavilion and Tyson's uncle. He says, the fragrant flower house still hasn't acknowledged. The man standing in front says, "If we keep putting pressure on them like this, eventually they will agree." This is Viok Veng's son, Vyong Sangil, and the future master of Josh Pavilion. The Pavilion master closes the scroll and says, "Doesn't matter whether they acknowledge or not. We must use this incident to our advantage and do whatever we can for Golden Wall Merchant." The Fragrant Flower House is actually an intelligence organization pretending to be a quotation house. We must take this opportunity to bring them under Golden Wall Merchant. Sangil says, "All right, I will handle it." The Pavilion Master asks, "Any other news?" Sangil says, "The Crimson Dragon sect leader is dead, and it seems there is a power struggle within the sect. They will soon split into 2 groups. It also seems an outsider is involved. Could it be?" The Pavilion Master replies, "Yes, the Golden Heavenly Alliance is involved. They are extremely dangerous. Keep a close eye on them." Then it is explained that some merchants formed an alliance called the Golden Heavenly Alliance. Outwardly, they act as if they help each other, but actually, they plan to destroy Golden. The pavilion master wonders what their next plan will be. Sangul says, "If we find anything suspicious, we will go after them immediately." They both start thinking silently. The pavilion master says, "I heard Tyson is being called the Night King. Have you heard of any medicine or food he is consuming specially?" Sangul says, "I haven't heard anything like that. I think instead of health, his stamina is extremely high." Smart people understood what he meant. Sangul says, "I don't know when he will die, but he still wants to have fun, but this will only make him die earlier." The pavilion master says, "I know." Then he thinks, "Even though this is the case, I still hate him." Then the scene shifts back to Tyson. The three assassins are kneeling, and Soso is standing in front, asking, "What is happening?" Tyson says, "You said you needed some people to do work, so I brought them." Soso looks at them and thinks, "They look very strange." And Tyson thinks, "If you don't like them, don't use them." Soso thinks, "Before leaving, I told him this, and he remembered it and brought these strange-looking laborers, too." It seems like he suddenly became a kind man. Then Tyson says, "All right, from today, you are Black 1, Black 2, and you are Black 3. You people live in the dark, so I gave you names like that." The three assassins hear their names and say, "What?" Tyson glares and says, "You don't like these names." The three bow their heads and say, "No, we like these names very much. From today, we are Black 1, Black 2, and Black 3. Then Tyson turns and says, "You heard it. From today, these are their names. Use them however you want." Then he asks, "By the way, where is Cheyenne? I haven't seen him." Soso says, "He must be training right now." Tyson says, "Training again? For a corps member, he is living a foolishly honest life." Then Cheyenne is shown training, thinking. In the fight against the Crimson Dragon sect leader, the palm strike young Master Tyson used was very light, but it was a deadly killing move. "I have never seen martial arts like this before. How did he do it?" He says, "I never regretted joining the Short Dragon Corps. If Golden Wall Merchant is ever in danger, I just have to be ready to help. As long as I do that, I earn good money. But the truth is, when I cannot become stronger, I start feeling troubled. But then I saw a chance, someone who can help fulfill my desire." Then a voice calls, "The sun is about to set. How long will you keep training?" Cheyenne turns around and says, "Young master, you are here?" It is Tyson, who says, "Hurry, we are going to the quotation house." Cheyenne says, "Okay, young master, but I want to ask one question." Tyson says, "All right, ask." Cheyenne says, "Have you decided that you will no longer hide your true self?" Tyson asks, "What are you talking about hiding?" Cheyenne says, "First the fragrant flower house incident, then the Crimson Dragon sect leader, and now the restriction technique." After seeing all of this, I have understood. Hearing this, Tyson becomes shocked and thinks, "Did he really find out who I actually am? I always thought of him as a foolish warrior. Looks like I was too careless. I shouldn't have shown my cards. I cannot let anyone know that I am the heavenly demon. I liked him, but now I have no choice but to kill him." The next moment, Cheyenne kneels down and says, "Young master, please help me." Tyson becomes confused. Cheyenne says, "I heard that people whose meridians are cut are geniuses. Your meridians are cut too, right? Please make me your disciple." Tyson becomes momentarily speechless. He thinks, Does he think I am a martial master, hiding my true power? Chayan says, I want to become strong. I want revenge. Tyson asks, revenge? Chayan says, yes, I want revenge on the one who destroyed my sect. Tyson says, don't let your revenge become your motivation. Chayan doesn't understand. Tyson says, countless people have lost their sects. You are just one of those countless people. Hearing this, Chayan starts thinking. Tyson says, those who let their emotions become motivation, people who act, pretend do not last for a long time. Such people, in the end, lose and disappear, at least until their desire for revenge becomes calm. Because of this, keep your desire to become strong, clean, and pure. After hearing his words, Chayan remains standing exactly where he was. Then Tyson says, once you become strong, you can take your revenge whenever you want. Hearing his words, Chayan greets him and says, I understand, young master. After that, the night scene is shown where they are going to the quotation house. Then Taesan turns back and looks at Sayan. Then he says to Chayan, don't pretend like you don't even know her. Then Chayan says, what do you mean by that? Then Taesan says, stop pretending to be ignorant. Then Chayan says, what are you talking about? And right there, seeing them, Sayan thinks, I can't believe it, we roast him. What does our young miss even see in a man like him? Then Taesan says, wait, I smell blood. Then Sayan and Chayan both sniff and say, but we don't smell anything. Then Tyson puts his hand on his head and says, do you people sense only with your nose? Then he starts thinking. It feels like a one-armed man has come, and with him I sense another presence too. It seems he brought another man along. Then Tyson tells Chayan, there are two of them. Go and finish one of them. Then Chayan leaves. Then Sayan feels something coming from the side. And it was a knife, which Tyson caught between his two fingers. Then he says, if you keep standing like this, you'll be killed very easily by an ambush. Hearing this, Sayan becomes very shocked. Then Tyson says, stop staring at me and pay attention to that man. That man is right in front. Then Sayan also draws her sword and gets ready. After that, a one-armed man is shown, who attacks Sayan as soon as he arrives. Sayan blocks the attack with her swords at the right moment. Then that one-armed assassin says, the one I fought before was much stronger than you. Then the assassin jumps backward. Seeing this, Sayan runs behind him, saying, stop right there. But as soon as she steps forward, she steps on a trap, which causes an explosion. Seeing this, Sayan thinks, was a trap already set here? Then that assassin leaves Sayan and starts going toward Taesan. Seeing this, Sayan thinks, no, he was waiting for a chance from the beginning. When he gets the chance, he will kill the young master. Then the scene is shown where he thrusts his blade straight toward Taesan. Then Tyson is shown smiling, and the assassin becomes extremely shocked because Tyson slightly moves to the side and traps his sword between his hand. Seeing this, the assassin thinks, how is this possible? But Tyson does not give him a chance and strikes his throat, causing the assassin to vomit blood and fall to his knees. Seeing this, Sayan thinks, impossible. He defeated that assassin with just one strike. Then Tyson says, control thyself. During battle, stop being swayed by others. Then Sayan says, forgive me for this. Then Taesan says, all right, take him with us. We'll find out something using him. Then Sayan says, okay, young master, Then, as she lifts him, she thinks, the assassin died in just one move. But even then, it is hard to believe that young Master Tae-san used only his hand. Then she looks at Tae-san and thinks, it feels like I have met someone who will change my life. For now, I must stay with him to learn what technique he used. Then the scene moves ahead. Seon is shown carrying the assassin, tied in a sack. Then Tyson says, looking at the situation right now, you are too weak to protect me. Hearing this, Seon apologizes. Then Taesan says, from now on, you will train with Chaeon. Hearing this, Seon thinks, is he accepting me as his disciple? Warrior Chaeon says, it feels like we are forgetting someone. Then suddenly they realize Chaeon is not with them, which she tells Tyson. Then Taesan says, no need to worry about him. He can take care of himself. Then Seon says, but, and Taesan interrupts, if you want, you can go and bring him. Then Seon is shown having killed the companion of the assassin. Then Chaeon, sheathing his sword, thinks, he was even stronger than I expected. But I still defeated him. But why do I not feel any human presence here? Where did both of them go? Here, Chaeon is talking about Tyson and Seon. Then the scene shifts to Golden Wall Merchant's Josh Pavilion. The pavilion master says, did they take the corpses to the quotation house? Then Sangil says yes, and because of that, many people now know about the incident. A pavilion master says, we wanted to quietly absorb the fragrant flower house, but it seems difficult now. Then Sangil says, we tried to identify the corpses, but there were very few marks on their bodies, so we couldn't identify them. Also, the Crimson Dragon sect says they had no choice except to go after young Master Tyson. They are still pretending to be ignorant and denying they know the identity of their client, probably because they cannot admit they were taking revenge for their strict leader's death. Then the pavilion master says, we must solve this incident, because right now many eyes are watching. It could affect the reputation of the Golden Wall Merchant. Sangil says, I understand. We will do whatever we can. Then the pavilion master says, and it seems we gave Tyson too much freedom. I heard he has become very healthy lately. Sangil says, thinking that after losing his vitality, he has become even healthier. Could he be using some special elixir? Then the pavilion master says, for now we must wait and see. Then the scene shifts to Tyson sitting at the dining table with everyone. Tyson says, won't you eat? Chaeon says, how can we eat with you? Tyson replies, you are my people, so isn't it natural to eat with me? Then he says, from now on, we will all eat together. Then So-So tells Tyson, young master, the divine physician is coming today. Tyson asks, who is he? So-So explains, he is a very famous physician who can even fix severed meridians. Tyson says, there is no need. I can go to the quotation house and cure my illness. Hearing this, So-So says, young master, that is impossible. You cannot absorb yin energy and recover yang energy that way. Explanation. Yin energy stays inside women, and yang energy stays inside men. So-So means Tyson cannot heal himself by absorbing yin energy from women of the quotation house. Such a technique does not exist. But Tyson was a heavenly demon in his past life, so he can do it with his dominance art. Then Tyson asks, when is the divine physician coming? So-So says, I heard he has arrived in the city. He will be here soon. Tyson asks, is he already inside the Golden Wall Manor? So-So says, no, he has been given another place to stay. I heard he wishes to observe the area where you live. Then Tyson says, really? Interesting. I also know someone like that. Then a man is shown standing far away, adjusting his hat and holding a staff. This is the divine physician. He says, Golden Wall Merchant, such a magnificent name. Then the scene returns to Tyson and everyone eating. Tyson says, I heard you've been helping a lot. Black One happily says, It's nothing big. I just focused on storage. Then Tyson says to Black 2 and Black 3, You too should work harder. They reply, Yes, young master, we will do our best. Then Black One flatters him, saying, These days you look so handsome. Not only handsome, you look tall, muscular, and your skin looks so soft. I feel like I'm falling in love with you. Tyson replies, This sounds very strange. It feels like I should use a restriction technique on your mouth. Hearing this, Black One panics and says, Forgive me, I won't say such things again. Then Tyson thinks, I look much better than before. Is this because of the soul augmenting dominance art? Whatever it is, I must gather more souls. If I continue like this, one day I will become as strong as before. Then the divine physician is shown arriving at the manor with his people. A man named Mojin, the chief steward of Golden Wall Manor, greets him and says, It is an honor to meet you. The divine physician says, It's just fate. Can you take me to your patient first? Seeing him, Mojin thinks, He is much younger than I thought. Does he use some kind of elixir? Then, as they walk, the divine physician praises the manor. Mojin says, Master worked very hard to build it. It is among the top 3 pavilions of Golden Wall Manor. Then, the divine physician sees Donnie and becomes shocked. He asks, Who is that woman? Mojin replies, She is the servant of the second young master. She came from a famous quotation house and was one of the women who requested to serve the young master. Then, the divine physician looks to the side and asks, Are all those women also here to request to serve him? Mojin says, Yes, they are recently arrived women who asked to serve the second young master. Then the divine physician says, All these women possess extremely rare body constitutions. They are so special that I want all of them for myself. Hearing this, Mojin becomes shocked and thinks, Does he want all of them? I didn't know the great divine physician was such a lustful man. Then Mojin says, I understand your feelings. They are very beautiful. The divine physician says, I'm talking about their pure physical form. This is the name my master gave to that body constitution. Their bodies are as pure as snow. Teach them anything, they learn instantly. Mojin apologizes for misunderstanding. The divine physician says, It's fine. Can I take them as my disciples? Mojin becomes shocked. The divine physician says, If you give me permission, I will never forget this favor. Then he thinks, It doesn't matter how beautiful they are. As long as they are foolish, their beauty is of no use. He won't let go of the chance to build a good relationship with me. Besides, I have several famous physicians under me, so he won't refuse. Then the scene shifts. Tisan has refused the request. The divine physician says, Shouldn't you think more about this? It is a great opportunity for your servants. Tyson says, I heard you already have more than 10 disciples and want 4 more. Aren't you being greedy? The divine physician says, Those people are not his disciples. They only assist him. Tyson says, But it did not look like that. The way those old men were circling around you, they were either your subordinates or your disciples. You are much older than you appear, aren't you? Did I say it wrong? Hearing this, The divine physician sits silently. Then he says, "Learning my medical techniques is not easy." Tyson replies, "Why would they learn your medical techniques?" "For them I come first. And to be honest, thou art not taking them to teach thy medical arts. Are they not good material?" Hearing this, the divine physician becomes confused for a moment. Then he thinks, he hath crossed his line. Then he says, "Material? How canst thou use a human as material?" Tae-san replies, "When did I say I use a human as material? I only asked whether they are good material or not." Hearing this, the divine physician thinks, he hath crossed the line too much. His meridians are broken. Should I kill him? If I say he died during treatment, they will let it go quietly.